last video I made was last Wednesday. When you are watching this, it's a week forward. It's a week forward in the future. And I showed you guys what I was taking with me to travel with. So I tried to, am I going the right way? I tried to, no, I don't think I'm going the right way. Okay, don't. I tried to look for audiobooks when I'm traveling and out and about and things like that, for books that I'm currently reading, or, you know, just scroll Libby's app to see what's available on audio. And I did find a few books that I've heard of before, and so I'm listening to those. I also tried to find the book that I am reading right now, which is by Ann Petrie, The Street, but unfortunately it's only available as a ebook. So, you know, I think I still downloaded it because it may just be easier to just pull out my Kindle, because I did bring my Kindle with me. But the other two books that I am listening to, one, Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. If you watch my video that I posted, and I've also talked about this book before on the channel, which is God, I can't, The Sun Does Shine by Anthony Ray Hinton. Brian Stevenson was his lawyer, and he has his own book. And so there is a movie adaptation about his life on Netflix. So if you have not watched that, go ahead and watch that. Jamie Foxx is in the movie, and what's that guy's name? It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of his name. Jordan, Michael B. Jordan. He plays the lead. Well, he plays Brian Stevenson. And so I watched the movie, but I did not listen or read the book. I've been wanting to read the book. I always see this book in the thrift store, the used bookstore, when I go, but I never picked it up. Maybe because I've read so much of Anthony Hinton's story, and, you know, since Brian Stevenson was his lawyer, I kind of knew the ins and outs as far as the legal part was. But the movie adaptation focused on Brian Stevenson, is based off of Brian Stevenson's life. But anyway, know that the book is always better than the movie. And so I was like, why not? It's free to listen. I've got 5 hours on this road. Let's go ahead and listen to his book. So I'm listening to that, and then I'm listening to The Old Man and the Sea. Reason why I decided to go ahead and listen to it is because it's only 2 hours. I was like, it's only 2 hours. You know, it's not gonna hurt for me to listen to this book. It may be good. It may be good. I can already sense that this book is going to have a lot of wisdom, a lot of life lessons, because it's involving humanity. It's involving humanity. An old man, he's the main character. There is a young boy as his sidekick, his friend, that's kind of like looking after him. You know, the old man is his mentor in some ways. You know, he's giving him a lot of wisdom and things like that. So I think I'm going to get that. I get that vibe from this book. And so, yeah, that's why I decided to go ahead and listen to it. It's only 2 hours. And so, yeah, I am at the outlet mall right now. As you can see, I actually left my earrings at home. It just gives me another reason to buy some more, right? Okay, y'all, so I am at Ulta right now to pick up a few products. This is my favorite for moisturizer, the Rose Deep Hydration Face Cream. I am using the Youth Preserve right now. It's almost gone. I got it for Christmas. It was like a gift set, in a gift set for a good price. But this one I really love for like the winter. And then I am picking up a NYX butter gloss, and I wouldn't call myself girly, but I do like to look nice. Maybe, you know, I was thinking maybe I need to amp it up a little bit with the mascara, do my eyeliner or something, you know, to give me a feminine look. So I may just be doing more of that. Yes, so I'm looking for a mascara as well. Okay, so I have this one by Essence. It's called the Lash Princess. It's only $4.99. It gives you a false lash effect. So I think I'm just gonna try this one out and see how it works. Wanted to come and talk books for a minute. Started reading The Street by Ann Petrie. I am loving it so far. It's a lot to think about. It's really making me think about women in her era and even before her era, how far, even though Ludi is not really doing that well right now, where I am in the book, I don't know where the book is going to go, but right now Ludi is a single parent. Right now she has left. This will be a spoilery, okay? This will be spoilery, so if you don't want to hear this, you can skip this part. Ludi has left her husband because of some infidelity, but she felt like she didn't have any control. So that has left her as a single parent and to raise a son. And so when I was reading about her story, I was thinking about the women who came before her in her previous generation, like in the 20s, because this is like the, well, not the 20s, even before that, 1800s, like post-emancipation, post-Civil War, when Black women only could find domestic jobs, right? I mean, they were living in worse conditions than Ludi is living in. There was no opportunity. I feel like Ludi, even though her situation is dire, in her opinion, even though her situation is dire, or the women that came before her, they were doing so much worse. They were doing so much worse. And then I look at my situation, like here in 2026, like how far we have come, but still how much progress still needs to be made. Yeah, that's my takeaway as of page 85. I'm just gotten into chapter 4. I can't wait to finish this book because it's very different. It's a very different book, and I can definitely tell that this was written in the 40s. It's written well. But definitely a piece of literature in the 40s. Just how it reads, it's just a lot different. It's more, I don't want to say plain, because the writing is deep. She writes in a way that makes you think. She's not giving you everything in the story. She's not giving you everything in the story. You have to comprehend. You definitely have to have some comprehension skills to kind of form your own opinion about what has been written on the page. But so far, I'm loving the book. I'm just loving the book. And the other book that I have brought with me is this book. I started reading the first page, and even though this is not a Black author, I'm still going to try to read this book, I think, or at least start it. You know, I do have a book ahead of this book, but I do want to at least start this book just to see how I will like this writer, Abby Jimenez. She has gotten a lot of praise. A lot of people like her books, and so I may just be one of those people. We'll just have to see. I have to give, authors a chance. Even though this is Black History Month, I am going to be reading non-Black authors because I read Black authors all the time anyway. So that is, that's what I'm going to do in this video. All right, so I will see you guys in the next clip when I'm doing something else bookish. I am at my father's house, and I started to read this book right here by Beverly Jenkins, Night Song. This is another book that I brought with, and I just read the prologue, y'all. Let me just say that, yeah, I know this is going to be a good one. I know it's going to be a good one. So this one is following Kara Lee Henson. Let me put my glasses on. The back of the book says, Kara Lee Henson knows no soldier can be treated or trusted to stay in one place, and that includes handsome Sergeant Chase Jefferson of the 10th Cavalry. Dallying with the dashing man in blue could cost the pretty, independent Kansas schoolteacher her job and her reputation. So already we have learned a little bit about Kara's background. We're dealing with someone that has gone through some things in her early life, and I'm sure that's going to follow her and shape her as a young woman. She goes into womanhood and how she deals with men in relationships and life and things like that. So cannot wait to get into that. Just reading that prologue just made me want to binge. And his eyes on her face were so knowing, so hard, that she thought instantly of the robins she had seen on Chandra's lawn in Lyme, and the cat lean stretched out full length, drawing itself along its belly, intent on its prey. He was standing so close to her, watching her so intently that again she thought of a cat slinking through the grass, waiting, going slowly, barely making the grass move, but always getting nearer and nearer. So I had to tab and annotate that passage, those two passages, because I know exactly what Ann Petrie is trying to say. Okay, if you have lived any type of life, you've been dealing with people, you've ever been in a vulnerable position before, you know exactly what's going on. So I like the fact that she writes in a way that you have to kind of have some experience, some life experience when you go into this novel, right? To extract exactly what she's trying to get across. Hey y'all, so it's me. I wanted to come back and do a update on the books that I'm currently reading right now, which is 3 books right now, but I'll talk about the first one because that's the one that I'm really excited about. I'm deep into. It's bringing out so many emotions out of me, and it is The Street by Ann Petrie or Petrie, one of those. This book is reminding me of the reason why I love to read literary fiction, specifically Black literary fiction. Intersection of a Black woman, Black and woman. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start. I just got out of working out, doing cardio, and I was just thinking about this book. Kind of like brought tears to my eyes because I was thinking about Ludi. I know Ludi is not a real person, but Ludi is a character who has existed in real life. This book, again, was written in the 40s, I think. And in that time period, Black women had no opportunities. Ludi is in a particular situation where she's finding herself having to settle as a single parent because she was kind of forced out of her home. She had no choice because although she didn't have to leave, she chose to leave. She chose to be a single parent. She could have stayed in the situation, but again, she was dealing with infidelity. And honestly, I probably would have left too. I would rather be on my own struggling than with someone who is a liar and a cheater and who refuses to get a job. Okay, that's kind of like the position she was in. But the last straw was when she found out that her husband was taken up with another woman. Here Ludi is out toiling, right? She's toiling, trying to make a living, a life for her son and also her husband who could not find a job. When she comes back, she finds another woman in her house. The audacity, right? So she left. She chose to be a single mother, and now she is subject to settling for less. She's in this apartment. It's very small, very claustrophobic apartment, not in the best of neighborhoods. The neighborhood or the street is described as being trashy, right? Like maybe I can picture prostitutes on the corner, maybe some drug dealing, some number runners. Not an environment where Ludi sees herself or her son in, but because she's now been made a single parent, she has no choice. She has no choice but to settle for this apartment. And in settling with this apartment, she has to settle for what goes on in the apartment, which includes a creepy superintendent, okay, who is after her because she's young and beautiful. Ludi, at first, when I was reading like the part, like the beginning of the book, I kind of felt like she was a little, not stuck up, but a little bougie, a little bougie, but you know, I don't feel like she was bougie. She just has standards. She just wants better for herself. Yeah, she just wants better for herself, but right in the 40s, there was no such thing for someone, especially Ludi's position, to have what her employers had, which was a nice house, a nice and safe neighborhood, good grocery stores, a yard for the dog and cat to play in. Just, I want to say basic things. Ludi has found herself in this position, and it's kind of heartbreaking. Now, she's making some questionable decisions parenting wise, and I'm asking myself, Ludi, girl, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, you shouldn't be doing that. But she wants to change her life so bad that the question is now is how far Ludi will go. She is trying to use her agency, the little power that she has as a beautiful young woman, to put herself in a position where she can have nice things. Like, when I say nice things, you know, she just wants a safe neighborhood. She just wants good schools for Bub, her son. She wants to have a nice grocery store where the meat isn't spoiled. Things like that, just basic, nice neighborhood. Did I say that? Nice neighborhood, because she is in an apartment in a bad neighborhood with creepy people who are living in the neighborhood. Yeah, so is that too much to ask in this time period? It is. And as I was on a treadmill, this book, like, Ludi was stamped in my brain. I was thinking about Ludi and thinking about me as a young person who just graduated college in the early 2000s, couldn't get a job. You know, I was in a nice neighborhood or whatever, a nice apartment, but at the time the rent was like too high. And throughout this book, rent is mentioned because it's describing the everyday. Well, we're dealing with mostly Ludi, and also there's another character named Min, who is the superintendent's girlfriend, where their life has not been easy. It's been all work, okay, work and no play, not being able to have money left over for luxuries. And when I say luxuries, I'm talking about going to the movies. I'm talking about going to the bar and having a drink. Just basic stuff, right, that you and I, like today, are able to enjoy, hopefully. But things are getting tight for a lot of us, right? I think we're all a few paychecks. If we lost our job today, how many months are you able to sustain yourself? Like, we are all a couple paychecks away from being in poverty. I mean, and that's just the truth of it, unless you are rich and you are Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or some millionaire, and that is the truth of it. And so yeah, it's following Ludi, and also it has another female character who they're in dire situations just because they're black and women, and at that time, you know, there was no opportunity, and both ladies are trying to circumvent or use the little power that they have to have a better life. And the question is, at what situation or point will they go to get what they want? As I was thinking about Ludi, like I said, I was thinking about myself in the early 2000s as a black single mother, couldn't find a job, hustling, just working just to pay rent. And yeah, It's more to life than rent. So that is The Street by Ann Petrie. The other book is Night Song by Beverly Jenkins, and this is a lighter book. The Street is very much a very emotional book, okay? But this is a romance, a historical romance. I love Miss Beverly Jenkins. Right now, I have read up to the 4th chapter. I think I'm on page 50 already. So Miss Beverly is going to give you short chapters. She's going to keep it going. It's always a page turner. Every book that I have read from her have been engaging and kept my interest, keeping me turning the pages. So we follow Kara, and I'm not sure of the male main character's name, but he is either a sergeant, a colonel in the army, right? And because Kara has a particular background, something happened tragic as a girl, that is following her into adulthood and dealing with relationships. So she's met this guy. This was a second chance meeting. They met like maybe 2 years ago somewhere else, and then that went left. And so they found themselves in the same area, a same room, actually doing a party. And it's that same kind of trope, single black strong female resisting this man because of trust issues that she had from her childhood, that this male main character, he doesn't have anything to do with it, but he represents pain for her. So I'm loving the book as always, and I cannot wait to get back to it. Okay, now I'm gonna go and actually wash my car, because after the snowstorm it still has not been washed, and I can't ride around like this, okay, anymore. I gotta wash my baby. Ruby has got to be washed.
Is there a budget on the dress?
Pay rent on 2 places at the same time. So he had to make the difficult decision to screw me over or screw her.
Y'all, happy Wednesday. It's bright and early, a brand new day. I'm so grateful to see another day. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day as well. I wanted to come and wrap up this video because I'm getting ready to leave today to go back home, and I wanted to do a final update of the books that I have been reading, or final thoughts for this video. I was not able to finish any books in this video. I knew I wasn't. I just wanted to start the books while I was traveling, because when I come home, I'm very busy. I have family matters to attend. I got my own personal things to attend. I started a little bit of wedding planning this weekend with my sister. I picked out my colors. I'm so excited. That is like one big part that is out of the way. I picked out my colors. Now I feel like I can plan around my colors. I looked at some dresses, which you saw in the video as well. And also I've been working out because I am on a fitness journey. So fitting in books along with my life is important, because I do get a lot out of reading, and I really do. I find it very enjoying, and it stimulates my mind as well. So The Streak by Ann Petrie, I did not get any further into this book since I last updated you. So I'm on page 7, which would be page 163. And like I said, I just finished the part where Ludi has made a decision to use what she has working for her, like her looks. She's beautiful, she's young, you know, men are after her, right? She's decided that that is going to be what is going to help her propel. So I'm looking forward to finishing the book and seeing how it ends. And I know this is going to be emotional, an emotional ride. I know I'm going to be in for maybe some not so pleasant things. I'm predicting, I don't know. But this book so far has made a very big impact on me because it is so relatable. Anyway, so that's where we are with The Street. And then Beverly Jenkins' Night Song. This is her first book, y'all, her debut novel. She came out the door. She came out the door. She came with it. Like, this does not read like a debut. This reads like she's been writing for years. This does not, since I've been reading it, I can't pinpoint any part of this book. And let me see, I'm on chapter 4, I think. But you know what? Miss Beverly is gonna give you yearning. She's gonna give you, you gotta work for this love. Okay, that's how I lead. Just a personal story. When I met my now fiance, I had just come off of a heartbreak, not dating for like 3 years. When I met someone, I was excited about him. You know, we had a lot in common, and it just did not work out. I ended up with a broken heart, and I quickly met, I would say within 2 or 3 months, I quickly met the man that I am going to marry right now. And because of what I had gone through, maybe it wasn't fair. It probably was not fair, but he had to work for this, right? He had to prove himself, and it was a long time. It didn't come easy for him. And Miss Beverly Jenkins does not give you a instant love. You're not gonna get instant love in this book. And Kara and his name is, what is his name? Chase, are no different. She's gonna make him work for her love and honor. So I didn't get any further than that because, like I said, busy day. And then the last book that I talked about was Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I did start this book, but I did not get far. I haven't even made it past page 4. But what I did do while I was driving, I looked up on my app, my Libby app, the other part of the series, which the second one was not available, but the third one did become available. And because I heard that you could read these as standalones, I went ahead and started the third book just for the summer. And it's cute. It is a cute book. Entertaining, I would say. It's a rom-com. I'm not a rom-com girl, but I feel like, you know, since I've bought these books, I should give them a chance, right? And if I don't like it, that's fine, because not everything is going to be for everybody. But I just didn't have time to sit down and invest in this one. So I think on my ride home, I am going to be listening to that primarily, because that's the only book. Well, that and actually Just Mercy. I did speak about Just Mercy as well. So I'm going to be toggling between Just for the Summer and Just Mercy. I'm probably going to listen to the majority of Just Mercy just because it's a subject matter that I am interested in. It is highly entertaining. It's a memoir about Bryan Stevenson, his legal career, and the people that he has helped, he has represented. I'm interested in all of that, so I'll probably end up listening to more of that than Just for the Summer, but I am going to be toggling between the two. I did not end up cracking my Kindle open at all. You know, I just didn't have time for it. That's okay. And so I'm going to pack my books up. Stay tuned for the updates on these books. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a blessed day.